would you say, is there any one sort of specific company or model that's sort of getting ahead of this, or doing this better than anybody else? This sort of hallucination of data, or do you think they're all pretty much the same and it's sort of the same
Well,
technology?
they're all the same. No, I don't believe anyone saying they can detect hallucination. Look, what does everybody do, right? This is how
Yeah,
they do it. I have a model,
yeah,
and I have another model which detects hallucinations,
yeah,
and it's trained to detect hallucinations.
yeah,
That's what they do. That's what everybody does, right?
yeah,
And the model is somehow trained to know it. So that's what you do. And what you do is you just use multiple models together, and that's
yeah,
how you avoid it. Right, and so the multiple models, or you ask the model the same question 5 times, and see what it says. But there's no magic box to detecting hallucinations. And in
yeah,
terms of how the models work, I mean, what the different companies are focusing on different things. So OpenAI, its big thing is memory. So when you work with OpenAI, it has a memory and it remembers what you've told it in the past. When you work with Google Gemini, it has a massive context window. So you can give it huge contexts. When you work with Claude, it's really, really good at coding, right? It's good at coding. And the OpenAI guys are now trying to get good. Like GPT-5 is a big advance in coding. They're trying to catch up to Claude. And if you look at an OpenAI Codex, Codex now integrates with Windsurf and Cursor, and it's getting more sophisticated. They're trying to focus on that. Beyond that, I mean, those are the three big ones, right? The
yeah,
rest of them, I mean, you look at some models are more sensitive to variations in the input than others. Well, the llama models tend to be less sensitive to variations in their input,
yeah.
right? And one of the things we discovered with Weight Watcher is that the better the model seems to perform, the more it hallucinates.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's
Interesting.
better at hallucinating. It's better at tricking you. So
Yeah,
this is something that's very curious that the models that don't hallucinate as much are also more brittle. They're not as clever. They're not as creative.
yeah,
So you have to be very careful. Now, OpenAI is they're getting better at trying to reduce hallucinations. There's some basic theoretical understanding of it, but I wouldn't say that there's any deep theoretical understanding. It's just they're getting better at the training processes are getting better. They're better at training. Reinforcement learning is getting better. DeepSeek is sort of pushed everybody to work a lot harder to figure out how to train their models, and the data sets are getting better. So what happens is, a lot of these models are just trained on incoherent data, and that causes problems. So the incoherence in the data, if you train a model on every piece of software on GitHub, you get all the bad code. So you get bad code as good as good code, and it
yeah,
doesn't know the difference. That's what's going
yeah,
on. And so they're just trying to get better at analyzing code and cleaning up the data sets and things like that. And the big companies are getting better and better at this. But it's to say they have the same problem that any company has. The data really matters.
yeah.
If you get the data wrong, you got a problem.